Good morning, Patriots. How are you today? I hope you have a nice, steaming, hot cup of coffee to start your day off with, because I surely need one today. Got my favorite cup of coffee. And it's hot, too. Hot. Just the way I like it. As you're jumping on, say hi where you watching from. I do appreciate everybody that just jump on and say hi. I do read through the comments. Do block all the trolls. But I do enjoy listening to the conversation. Maybe I provoke some thoughts in your mind. I do appreciate it. And look, do me a favor. If you're watching on Facebook right now, drop out, go over, hit the follow button or hit the friend button. I still got some friends left. My only friends. Anyways, moving on. But go ahead and do that and share and like and comment on this video. That's trying to defeat the algorithms that are already skewed against me. They don't want this information out. Oh, but Mike, they're not doing that. They're not. Facebook doesn't do that. Well, we got an article. We're talking about exactly how Facebook is exactly doing that, and they're admitting it. So, anyways, moving right along. This is me on YouTube. If you're over watching on YouTube, I know it says 61 subscribers. That was like 5 months ago. It's a lot more than that now. It's kind of cool the way it's grown. But that's me on YouTube, Mike Cook, with a little A10 there. I love A10s. If you're over there watching on YouTube right now, and several of you are, please share the video. Also, subscribe, ring the bell if this is first time watching me, and hit the little like button. It does help. I do appreciate you all over there. And on Rumble, if you're watching this on a rerun on Rumble, I'll load this up as soon as this is done being live. I'll load it up to Rumble. And let me tell you, if I get kicked off the others, I'll be there. Okay, so that's me on Rumble. Go over there, follow over there. Rumble's a pretty good site. And now I'm also on Telegram. All of my thoughts, as I organize my thoughts for the day to do my show, end up on that Telegram page. That's where I organize everything. And I'll get a lot of stuff that doesn't make it. It's just not enough time. And you can go over there and read the articles and see the posts. And sometimes I put some funny stuff over there. It's stuff you can't post on Facebook. And in the very, very near future, in the next day or so, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, it depends on what kind of news is out there and how much time I have. I'll do a little tutorial on how to sign up for Telegram, because right now that's where it's at. I mean, that could change tomorrow. They start kicking everybody off and we have to go somewhere else, like Donald Trump's new one, which I've already reserved my name, Patriot Mike Cook. So when that one happens, we'll see. Please join me in a nice warm cup of coffee wherever you're at, or whatever you're drinking. It is 5 o'clock somewhere, so hey, to each his own. As for me, I'll just stick with coffee. That's good for me. So anyways, jumping on, say hi. I do appreciate it. This is Mike, the Patriot, coming to you live from Central Missouri. It is approximately 8:32 a.m. on 4/1/21, April Fools. And who's the fool? That's the question. What will April bring? I don't know. You shall have joy in the spring. But summer, oh summer. I think summer's going to be a little rocky. That's what I think. Maybe it'd be great. Maybe it'd just be a bowl of cherries, but I don't think so. So what we got for April Fools? It says, if we divide 123 genders by white supremacy, how much climate change do we have? That's an April Fool's. That's just a fool. And then there's this one. I've decided that I'm trans-vaccite. This means that I identify as having been vaccinated, even though I haven't actually been. Vaccination is a spectrum. And if you are you are a bigot if you don't accept me for who I am. So there you have it. I'm a trans-vaccite. I say I've had the vaccination, even though I haven't. And who are you to judge my body, my choice? And it's a great day to be alive. I'm happy to be alive. I'm excited for the future. I know God's got all this in control, and we got some good stuff to talk about that's happening right now in the media. There's some articles that I took a screenshot of that says that these are, you can see this is the MSM, the mainstream media. He said rising COVID cases and fear of virus prompt concern in U.S. U.S. COVID cases rising again as restrictions ease despite benefits from increased vaccinations. Despite vaccine progress, active COVID cases and masks keep rising. New York cases rise despite vaccinations. COVID cases on the rise despite vaccination efforts. Oh no, oh no, oh, the mean COVID monster is coming back. Everybody panic, everybody freak out. We've got to shut this thing down to get our global reset. There's lots of talk in the blogosphere and in the back channels and around of COVID-21. Aren't you excited? We get to do it all over again. You know, another 14 days that turns into 365 days to stop the spread. Bend the curve. Hide in your basement. Just like Joe. We could be just like Joe. It'll be great. I don't think I will. But it may be coming down the pipe that you have to absolutely 100% get the shot, or you can't enter society. Starting tomorrow in New York, that will be the law. Enter society. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Among these, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Good thing we don't have a constitution anymore and it no longer applies, and we fly this flag instead of the old glory because, well, this is the People's Republic of America and we are a democracy now. You know, democracy. China is lecturing us on democracy because China knows all about being a people's republic and how it's supposed to work. You know, what's good for the peoples, good for the whole, not the individuals. Individuals are expendable. It's what's important is the whole. It's the everybody. So we could build a utopia if we all just unite and hold hands with Joe Biden and sing Kumbaya as he tries to remember the words. But let's move on to a new subject. So this is Rothbeard1776, Murray on Twitter. He says, how many more drone strikes do we need to achieve enough peace in the Middle East to bring our troops home? You know, we're expanding over there, right? The war in Afghanistan is the longest military conflict in the United States. The Bush administration lied about the reasons for invading both countries. Congress completely abdicated their responsibility as the sole body authority to declare war. That's absolutely true. They gave the power to the president. The Obama administration dropped more bombs in the Middle East than Bush did, not to mention destabilizing Libya and Syria while decrying while directly funding terrorist rebel groups. Benghazi, anyone? You remember all that? I got a little doohickey I want to show you here. This was over in the Ukraine or Russia by the Ukraine the other day. Got some Russian those look like mobile artillery pieces right there. This is a heavy mech, fuelers, cargo trucks, ammo carriers. And right here before the video ends, you can see some main battle tanks right there. And they're all on the move. There's a bunch of things happening over in that neck of the woods right now. Troop movements all over the place. There's troop movements in Ukraine. There's a bunch happening. There's the war that has been stalemated in Ukraine right now between Ukraine and Russia is really starting to fire up. And I'm torn between that. I've always felt like Ukraine is kind of the good guys and Russia is kind of the bad guys. But I don't know anymore who's good and who's bad, and who's right and who's wrong, and who's doing what and who isn't, and whose cars parked next door and all that. I don't know. And so it's got me concerned a little bit because, well, actually, Kim Clement had a prophecy where he talked about Ukraine. He talked about that God was going to do something there, and there's going to be a mess. I don't remember the exact words, but something's going to happen in Ukraine, and God's going to do something there. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you about that, but things are starting to shake loose all over the world. So, It's April. It's a prophetic year, and it's going to take all year, and it's going to be interesting. I don't know. And this is in the news. So this is Facebook, friends. What an absolute slap in the face to the 75 million Americans. Now, this was last night. It says, this is Facebook. This is a person on Facebook. That's her name down at the bottom down there. It says, I saw on Laura Ingram's Instagram account that she will be hosting an interview with President Trump tonight. Not former President Trump, but President Trump. You notice that? Interesting. Just a reminder that the content posted on Facebook and Instagram in the voice of President Trump is not currently allowed on our platforms, including new posts with President Trump speaking, and will be removed if posted, resulting in additional limitations on accounts that posted it. These guideline applies to all campaign accounts and pages, including Team Trump and other campaign message vehicles on our platforms and former surrogates. Now, point out a couple things about that right there. First of all, if this is Team Trump, if this is campaign Trump, this is illegal. It's against the law to mute a political campaign for political speech. So that's a big deal. Here's the full Fox News article. It says Facebook removed video. So they ended up doing what she said. Facebook removed a video of an interview on Fox News from former President Trump conducted by his daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, who's now on Fox, saying the content, or is it Newsmax? Somebody correct me. It might be Newsmax. I may be wrong. Saying any content in the voice of Donald Trump would be scrubbed from their platform. Now, I just showed you this what the article says. Facebook removed a video of an interview of former President Donald Trump conducted by his daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, saying the content in the video in the voice of Donald Trump would be scrubbed from the social media platform. Facebook permanently banned the former president. Now, see, Fox News is saying former president, but Facebook is saying president in their article. From their platform in January after the Capitol riot. I need a sip here. So it was Fox News. Okay. Tuesday, Laura Trump, a Fox News contributor, posted an image on Instagram. Tuesday. Huh. I'm a dyslexic, uneducated person, and I noticed that. On her sitting accounts from her father-in-law, urging followers to join us tonight. A group of Trump officials were sent an email from a Facebook employee warning that any content posted on Facebook and Instagram in the voice of President Trump is not currently allowed on their platforms, including new posts with the President Trump speaking, and warned that it will remove the post, resulting in additional limitations. Now, we just read that. Okay. So this guidance applies to all campaign accounts, pages, including Team Trump and other blah, 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 blah. The interview was eventually posted to Laura Trump's Facebook page, but was taken down. Let's see here. It says, hey, folks, Facebook employee wrote in an email, there's some kind of content removal. We are reaching out to let you know that we removed content from Laura Trump's Facebook page that featured President Trump speaking. The Facebook employee wrote in line with the block we placed on Donald Trump's Facebook and Instagram accounts. Further content posted of the voice of Donald Trump will be removed and involved with additional limitations. Let's see. Familiar, confirmed with identity of the message. A source familiar with the confirmed identity of the message to Fox News. Facebook did not immediately respond to Fox News' request for comment. Facebook moved to block Trump indefinitely after the Capitol riots, with CEO Mark Zuckerberg saying in January that he believed the risk of allowing the president, the former president, at the time, the president of the United States, or maybe he really is still president of the United States, to continue to use the service during this period is so simply too great. What about Nancy Pelosi, and what about her connections to Antifa? Can't do that, huh? Trump was also permanently banned from Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube after everybody banned him. Doesn't make much sense, does it? Doesn't make much sense to me, that's for sure. Also in the news, let me add this. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I'll read it to you. This is on my Telegram account. And see, if you take a look on your Telegram account, you take a look over here is your different pages that you can go to, right? And if yours doesn't look like this because you don't have any pages, it's just blank over here, I'll explain in a later date on how to fill that up with a bunch of people to follow. But anyways, Donald Trump made a statement. This is a statement by Donald Trump, 45th President of the United States of America, talking about Joe Biden and his tax increase. This just the other day this was released yesterday. Joe Biden's radical plan to implement the largest tax hike in American history is a massive giveaway to China and many other countries that will send thousands of factories, millions of jobs, and trillions of dollars to these competitive nations. The Biden plan will crush American workers, and decimate U.S. manufacturing while giving special tax privileges to outsourcers, foreign and giant multinational corporations. Biden promised to build back better, but the country he is building up, in particular, is China and other large segments of the world. Under the Biden administration, America is once again losing the economic war with China. Biden's ludicrous multi-trillion-dollar tax hike is a strategy for total economic surrender. Sacrificing good-paying American jobs is the last thing our citizens need as our country recovers from the effects of a global pandemic. Biden's policy would break the back of the American worker with among the highest business tax rates in the developing world. Under Biden's plan, if you create jobs in America and you hire American workers, you will pay more in taxes. But if you close down your factories in Ohio and Michigan, fire U.S. workers, and move all your production to Beijing or Shanghai, you will pay less. It is the exact opposite of putting America first. It is putting America last. Companies that send American jobs to China should not be rewarded by Joe Biden's tax bill. They should be punished so that they keep those jobs right here in America, where they belong. This legislation would be among the largest self-inflicted economic wounds in history. If this monstrosity is allowed to pass, the results will be more Americans out of work, more families shattered, more factories abandoned, more industries wrecked, and more main streets boarded up and closed down, just like it was before I took the presidency 4 years ago. I then set record low unemployment and 160 million people working. This tax hike is the globalist betrayal by Joe Biden and his friends. The lobbyists will win. The special interests will win. China will win. The Washington politicians and government bureaucrats will win, but hard-working Americans will lose. Joe Biden's cruel and heartless attack on American dream must never be allowed to become federal law. Just like our southern border went from the best to worst and is now in shambles, our economy will be destroyed. That's the former president, so he says. What is he calling himself there? Trump, the 45th president of the United States. He didn't say former. He's the 45th president of the United States. That's what we need to call him, 45th president of the United States. There you go. Maybe he's the 19th. I don't know. Could be. I never know. All right, folks, fans, friends, patriots. I'm going to talk about something. No, let me deciding which one I want to do first. All right, I'm going to do this other one first. Okay, let me switch here. Let me switch up to an article that my wife shared with me this morning that's going to knock your socks off. And then I'll go to the one that'll probably piss you off. Okay, so here is an article. This is on the Blaze. It says Connecticut school shows cartoon to send to second graders of a man let me say something. If you're watching this with your children, you got little children, do yourself a favor. Either turn me off, go in the other room, or shoo them away. Because we're about to talk about some stuff that your little one probably ought not hear. You see, I have enough other than this story to understand that I wouldn't want my kids hearing about this. So you can see what's on the screen. Hopefully your little one hasn't seen that. So I'll give you a couple seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're still here, it's on you, not me. I've warned you. Okay. Connecticut school shows cartoon of second graders of men with erections standing over sad girl. Say what? Second graders in Greenwich, Connecticut were shown an animated video which displays a silhouette of a man with a graphic full erection standing over what has been described as a sad girl during the lesson on social and emotional learning. The New York Post reported that kids were shown a cartoon that titled Alfred Jr. and Shadow. The short story about being scared during a virtual class that the Greenwich Free Press said was a lesson on social emotional learning. I don't know, schools are really, what happened to reading, writing, and arithmetic? Maybe we should teach our kids to read and do math before we worry about this other stuff. I'm just saying. The description of the video says all children are normal scared. But what do children who are embarrassed scared or painful scared need? These people get education for this kind of crap. It explains that Alfred Jr. and Shadow, a short story about being scared, was an educational film for children 6 to 14. Let me tell you, I got a 13-year-old daughter. I don't want her seeing this thing. The children learn about different ways of being scared. What they need when they are scared, and suggestions for actions. Adults also get some tips on how to meet a child who's scared. Adults get some tips on how to meet a child who's scared. Yeah. This phrase right here, normal scared, embarrassed scared, and painful scared. Okay. At one point in the video, the narrator says some children are afraid that their mom and dads will beat them. Some children are afraid that they're queuing up. No, I'm just kidding. Or that their parents will fight. Other children have experienced an adult touching or putting their penis in their child's private part of their mouth. Why are you? This is not what you do in a classroom. This is not reading and writing and arithmetic. That's why my kids go to the private Lutheran school. I'm not even Lutheran. They go to the private Lutheran school because you know what they teach them at the private Lutheran school? They teach them reading, writing, arithmetic, history, and Lutheranism, which I'm okay with Lutheranism. I mean, that's not bad. Compared to this, that's like good. So they learned on who Martin Luther was, where he came from, what he did. Those are good things. But they also, I won't get into that right now. That's another rant. But they got a darn good education at that school. As the voiceover speaks, the image displayed for several sections on the screen is what Washington Jammer called a dejected-looking child next to a sexually aroused silhouette of a man. The Post provided a montage to describe the video. Now, here's the video. I'm not going to enlarge it, but I am going to play it. And like I said, if you've got your little ones, get them away, please. This video will probably get me kicked off Facebook. Here it is. This is from The Blaze, and this is from the Washington Post, I believe is who they put this together, the Washington Examiner. So this is on mainstream media. This is not me reporting this. This is me reporting what the mainstream media says.
Children are afraid of stuff that's very difficult to talk about. For instance, Some children are afraid that their mom and dad will beat them, or that their parents will fight. Other children have experienced an adult touching or putting their penis in the child's private parts or mouth, and they're terrified that this will happen again.
This is sick. This is disgusting.
Even though I can be big and scary, remember, I'm just trying to take care of you and protect you from danger. Yeah.
The demon under the bed may be big and scary, but they're just trying to protect you.
Yes, but if you terrify me when I'm not in danger, I need help to stop you.
This is going to go on, just have some Twitter comments. The Greenwich Parents Newsback co-host Carl Higby tweeted, in my hometown, in my daughter's age group class of second grade, they showed an animated video of a man with an erection standing over a child. This is not okay. The Humphrey told the Free Press that he was relieved that his own second grader did not see the film. Humphrey told us, but that several other disgusted parents had reached out to him to express outrage. This is somebody thought this video was acceptable for second graders is a parent, he told the outlet. Greenwich School Superintendent Dr. Tony Jones addressed the controversial video in an email to second grade families and acknowledged around the midway point of the video, there is a reference to situations in which children may become afraid, including being afraid of abuse, physical and sexual. The content of this point of this video was not appropriate for the GPS second grade classrooms. No kidding. The teacher should be immediately fired. The administrators should be, anybody that allowed this to happen should be fired immediately because they're perverts. According to the Free Press, she added that the content was intended likely for a private therapy session for a child who have experienced trauma. So let's give the child more trauma, which is ridiculous in itself. If I had a child that experienced trauma and they showed them this, I'd be steaming mad. I would be fired up mad. This is not okay. This is not right. You should not do this under any circumstances. Just like they have the transvestites reading stories in school. It turns out the guy that put that all together was arrested here for molesting little boys. These people are sick, all of them. Disgustingly sick perverts. Okay. Let's move on. I didn't want to end on that story. Oh, this gets me riled up, I tell you right now. I didn't want to end on that story because that was so disgusting. I needed something in between, but this one might not be any better. So back to Matt Gaetz or Gaetz. I think that's how you say his name. It's Gaetz, right? I don't know. Anyways. So I know. He's like one of the good guys. He's like a firebrand. He gets up there, woo, 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 woo. And I understand. I agree with you. Look, let me tell you, I'm not a Republican by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sick and tired of the Republicans. I'm sick and tired of the Republicans more than I'm sick and tired of Democrats. I know who the Democrats are, but I don't know who the Republicans are. They turncoat every time they turn around. So what I'm about to show you is what's out there. You make your own decision on this guy. I don't know. I have not made a decision. I do not know. I don't know if he's being set up. I don't know if this is something he did in his past and they were holding it over his head, but I've got some theories that I want to talk about when I get to the end of this. I'm just going to cover what's out there. There's a bunch of stuff happening, a bunch of weird stuff. I don't understand it. Just going to put this out there. So we're going to talk about Matt here. This is his biography. Right here, he's a member of the First Baptist Church in Fort Walton Beach, member of the directors of the Air Force Enlisted Village, board member of AMI Kids, AMI Kids, Emerald Coast, board member and director of Emerald Coast Marine Institute, member of Destin Chamber of Commerce, member of Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce, life member of the NRA, member of the Narvik. I can't, it's blurry on my screen, so I can't hardly see that, what that says right there. Narvik Chamber of Commerce, must be a city. Member of another Chamber of Commerce, member of the Association of Walton Bar Association. Okay, that's cool. He fills out all the blanks, right? He's a board member of AMI or AMI Kids, or I don't know, Emerald Coast, member of the board director right here, okay? So what is that organization? So this is the organization. So I pulled up this deal to figure out what this organization was. Let me pull that off the screen right there. It says that their mission is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping youth develop into reasonable and productive citizens. AMI Kids' mission is to protect public safety, possibly impact as many youths as possible through the efforts of diverse and innovative staff. AMI Kids works with a partnership of youth agencies and local communities and families. It's separating troubled youth from patching by the future, talking about their financials. This is just an overview of who they are. I read through this thing. It's typical, nonprofit, doing a good job, whatever, Okay, cool. That's cool. Interesting. So then this pops up next. Okay, so let me pull back out of here. This pops up next. AMI Kids Fort Lauderdale investigates state contracted staff worker accused of sexual contact with troubled teens. And then it says AMI Kids is giving young people the chance to take their futures back and a chance to understand that there is good inside of them. Bill Clinton, former president, that made some red flags pop up in there. So I pulled up that article, AMI Kids Fort Lauderdale investigating state to. And it's like, well, that kind of sounds bad. What is that all about? But then I read the article. One of the allegations involves a teen who admitted to exchanging inappropriate text with a staff member intern, which is probably a teen herself, probably not 19, 20 years old. So if you're dealing with a 16-year-old and a 20-year-old, it's wrong, but appropriate situation, but not really, into the world. After he was found to have sexually revealing pictures of the intern on his cell phone, according to records supplied by the Juvenile Justice Department. The second allegation involves a staff member who was reportedly in a relationship with the boy at the program, that the member was fired Monday, according to, these were a couple of young girls. Now, staff, interns. It is what it is. Not as bad as it makes it look here. But this right here, this Bill Clinton thing, okay, that's weird. Don't know. Is there any connection? Does the connection matter? Don't know. I'm just putting out there. Understand, they're going after this guy. Okay. But how much of it's true? I don't know. Then there's this weird thing. This was out, personal life. He grew up in a house that was used to film The Truman Show. As of 2018, his parents still live in that house in Seaside, Florida. A sign on their white picket fence says The Truman Show house. That's weird. The younger sister, Erin, was the director of digital content for Jeb Bush 2016 presidential campaign. Okay, we're all one big Republican family. In June 2020, following an agreement with then Representative Cedric Richmond, Gates said that he had been living with a 19-year-old immigrant from Cuba, Nestor Galaban. I don't know, whatever. Since Galaban was 12 and considered Nestor his son. He later clarified that Galaban is the brother of an ex-girlfriend of Gates and that Galaban spends time with his sister, with Gates' family, and with Gates. The two are not related genetically or legally, Gates said. Our relationship as a family is defended by our love for each other, not by paperwork. In 2016, he called Gilliban, I guess that's how you say Gilliban, a local student. In 2017, he called him my helper. In December 2020, Gates announced his engagement to his girlfriend, Ginger Lucky, the sister of Oculus VR founder and major Republican donor Palmer Luckey. Okay. The guy's not helping himself out here, is he? He's kind of shooting himself in the foot, you know. But, you know, people are people. People do what people do. Maybe he's helping his kid out. I don't know. I don't know. Set yourself up for trouble later on if you do some weird stuff, and that's kind of weird. It says the U.S. DOJ, United States Department of Justice, source of Florida with knowledge of the investigation confirmed that to Red State that Gates' father wore a wire. This was, remember, I played the video the other day. This was in there. He said this, so this is true. Wore a wire that the FBI is investigating a blackmail extortion scheme. That's from Red State. Now, is it a fake or was it real information that they were extorting? I'm going somewhere with this. So don't get mad. You're beating up on it. I'm not beating up on nobody, okay? I don't know if he's clean. I don't know if he's dirty. As a matter of fact, I don't know if any of these Republicans are clean or dirty, and I'm going to prove it to you that you need to pay attention because something's about to happen, whether it's not this or something else. Just follow me here. Now, all over Twitter, and this is a perfect example, they're going after the QAnons and the conservatives, saying that we're hypocrites. That's basically what he's saying here. I thought QAnon freaks were supposed to believe people in power were engaging in sex trafficking because Majorine Taylor Greene said the DOJ needs to release the tapes instead of allowing another witch hunt to take place. Well, I agree with Congresswoman Greene. If there are tapes that exist, they should be released. Period. But this guy right here, he's bashing people because we believe that people in power are engaging in sex trafficking. Well, yeah, they are. So, and if this guy's included, then he's included. And if he's not, release the tapes. So this one's got me weirded out. Sex trafficking probe of Representative Matt Gaetz emerges from a Joel Greenberg prosecution. Sun Central confirms. That's Gaetz in the background. That's Roger Stone, and that's Greenberg to screen right, I think it would be looking at that. Is that weird? So who's this Greenbeard cat, and what kind of nonsense does this guy do? So I got this little video. This is from 2017. I found this interesting. All I'm doing right now is I found this interesting. All of this I found interesting. I've posted all of this on my Telegram page. Decide for yourself what you want to do with it. No, he's clean. He's innocent. He's in the middle. I vote in the middle. But let's just see. This is a story for 2017, and it's about that guy that's in the center of all this blackmail stuff. This is weird stuff. I mean, you start reading into this thing, it's all kinds of weirdness going on. So here we go.
It was a little before 11 the night of December 3rd when the sheriff's office report says Barbara Hawkins was driving where County Road 46A and Orange Boulevard meet when she saw an SUV behind her with a white strobe light activated. She kept driving, knowing an officer or deputy would have blue lights. She eventually pulled into her subdivision and stopped before going all the way home. She says the SUV pulled in behind her and a man got out with a lanyard around his neck with a star-shaped badge. She believed this individual to be a law enforcement officer. She claims the man asked her, "Why are you driving like a bat out of hell?" To which she claims to have said, "You scared the hell out of me." Turns out tax collector Joel Greenberg had met with a deputy that very night, saying people run the stop sign and speed near his home. That deputy eventually showed the driver who complained a set of photos, and she said it was tax collector Joel Greenberg with the flashing lights, the badge, and the lecture about speeding. The state attorney reviewed Hawkins' complaint about possible impersonation of an officer, and in a letter released today, said that what happened does not rise to the level of falsely assuming or pretending to be a law enforcement officer. The letter says Greenberg should not have been wearing his Seminole County tax collector badge, but the letter indicates the state attorney will give Mr. Greenberg the benefit of the doubt and assume his intentions were pure.
So this guy's going around pulling over women that are alone in their vehicles, pretending to be a police officer for whatever reason. And now he's in a sex trafficking probe involved here. Huh. And he's a tax collector, which makes him scum of the earth, in my opinion. But sorry if you're out there, you work for the IRS, you're tax collector. I apologize. Please don't look at my everything. I pay someone to do all that, so I don't even have a clue. But just open mouth, insert foot. So, but here's this guy pulling women over. To what end? And then when it goes up before the judge's like, oh, nothing to see, no big deal. He's a nice guy, no problem. But he's pulling, I mean, if you or I did that same thing, we go to jail. But he didn't. Why is that? Who's covering for somebody here? What's that all about? What's going on here? This is just getting weirder by the minute. So, where am I going with all this? Kim Clement says that highly embarrassing moments for the Democrats and the Republicans will be shaken when a new Snowden arises. That's the next step in his parade. I've talked about it many, many a times. The Kim Clement prophecy, the timeline prophecy that said that there would be 2 impeachments, and it put it in order. It said that a nation itching for a new kind of war, a biological warfare, an attack on our election system as warfare, said that Donald Trump would be set aside for time, said that his David would be set aside for time, said a lot of other little things in there. All of that has happened up until the second impeachment. That was earlier this year. And then he said, right after that, impeach, but no. It was impeach, but nay, 1. Impeach, but no, 2. Then it was highly embarrassing moments for the Democrats, and the Republicans would be shaken when a new Snowden arises. And it says there'll be much fear, and they'll say they have no protection. The Republicans will be shaken. Number 17 says that number 17 is about Republican and not about, it isn't about Democrats. It's saying that a group of elites control this government. One of the things that I heard someone saying was, do they go out and turn people, or do they promote people that already have the disposition? You follow what I'm saying? So let me ask you a question. Let's just hypothetically, okay, or pathetically, I don't know, hypothetically say that this guy's, this guy's bad. And it's coming out now for whatever reason, but let's just say this guy's bad, and it did come out. How many times have you been disappointed, betrayed, stabbed in the back by your Republican conservative firebrands that you elect because they're Mr. Conservative, Mr. Accountability, Mr. I'm conservative, I'm perfect in every way, I'm a Christian, I go to the right church, I carry the Bible just like you're supposed to, hold my mouth right, I wear a red tie, I am Mr. Conservative, I believe in principles, I will never raise your taxes, I will always fight for the children. But then they get there. They work their way up the ladder. When they were a local politician, they were, oh, this dude's awesome. When they were a state level politician, like, yes, this guy's what? Yes, woo, we're behind him. Woo, we're having a good time. This dude's awesome. Can't wait. And then a slot opens up, and he's a senator, a congressman, and they get up in there. And the first couple of years, you're like, woo, this guy, he's out there, he's making speeches. Oh, he's on the floor of the Senate, and he's wagging his finger at the corruption. And you're like, woo, red meat, red meat, red meat. And then that one vote comes. He votes not the way you expected him to vote. And you, it's just one vote. It's okay. He had his reasons. It's okay. He's on our side. And then there was something else. He kind of looked this way when something happened. And then there was something else. And the next thing you know, he's Mitt Romney. And he's stabbing you in the back. You see, because way back when, before he was a politician, or maybe while he was a politician, who knows, he compromised somewhere along the way. Maybe it was some of this stuff that's bubbling up right now with this guy. Maybe it was something else. Maybe he had an affair. Maybe he visited an island. I don't know. And they said, look, if you don't vote the right way on this particular subject, then we're going to put this information out there. And once you did it, they own you. And they'll always own you. They make sure that the ones that get promoted are the ones they can control on both sides of the aisle. You ever wonder why the Republicans are always reaching across the aisle to their friends to negotiate? That's the way Congress works, but the other side of the aisle never reaches across? Because we've been played like suckers, every one of us. So, is this guy dirty? I don't know. But do I trust any one of them? Nope. Nope. Not even the ones I like. It's what have you done? We need to keep this in mind, folks. With our politicians, it's what have you done for me lately? I don't care what you did yesterday. What have you done today? And by what have you done for me doesn't mean bringing home the bacon or making sure that your district gets a new bridge built and spending more money. It means what have you done to stifle the growth of government and stop this corruption? Or are you just playing your part? Highly embarrassing moments, and the Republicans will be shaken. I don't know what's coming. I don't know. This guy's weird, and I don't know why. I don't know what's going on here. Is this the white hats? The black hats? I don't know. I'm going to let it play out, see what happens. I think we'll know soon enough which way this is. You know, they set this kind of stuff up. We're real or fake. They set this kind of stuff up, take a guy out all the time. I mean, they do it all the time. I mean, they may have put this guy in this picture with Roger Stone and Gates to take him out. That may be the intention. They knew this guy was dirty. This tax collector guy was dirty. And they set this whole scenario up. And if that's the case, and Gates is fighting back, and he's taking the pummeling right now because he said, no, I won't compromise. I won't pay you the money, because if he caved in, then they'd own him, and he'd be like the rest of the shills up there just doing their things. So if that's the case, he's going to battle. We just get behind him. But maybe not. I don't know. That's the problem. But I do know this. There's a whole mess of coming. God's about to bust it loose. God has promised me. He's made the promises to the prophets. He's made the promises to Kim. He's made the promises to Hank. I don't know. I'm not a prophet. I do know that in my gut, in my spirit, I sense something coming. And this thing's got weird written all over it. So what will today bring? I mean, there's a whole lot of weirdness going on, from that ship over there that got turned sideways to, you see all the floods over in China. I mean, there's all kinds of weird going on right now. So we shall see. So that's my show today. Please do me a favor, like, comment, and share this video. Share. If you don't share it, it won't get shared because Facebook ain't doing it. Make sure you follow me on the Telegram. We're going to do a little explanation on how that works here in a little bit. Follow me on the YouTubes, and follow me on on Rumble, Mike the Patriot, or Patriot Mike on Rumble. I do appreciate everybody jumping on. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day. I'm going to check out of here. See you later.